Hello everyone, this is Visible Team welcoming you to Let's Discuss The Walking Dead. This is for Season 6, Episode 4. I like the fact that we actually got an episode for at least one time in the season where it's kind of slow and methodical, where we could actually see what was going on. I know that they don't usually do that like in the episodes, but, you know, every once in a while is a good break. So, and with the 90-minute thing, I'm really not sure how much of the time was actually devoted to the episode. I did keep count or anything like that. Usually, like for an hour episode, it's like 40 minutes or whatever. And I really don't know how much it was for last night's episode. I know it definitely was as long as I was kind of hoping for. They had those two trailer break things for that new show on two new shows on AMC. Into the Badlands and Preacher, and plus I thought there was more actual commercials. So yeah, I'd be surprised if the actual episode itself was probably about 50 minutes of actual footage. I'd be a little surprised at that, but anyways. As for with the actual episode, I did like the fact that they kind of showed where Morgan was and where he is now. Kind of the evolution in his way of thinking and how we got to certain places. Plus, I really like the fact that he understood how he was supposed to use the bow staff. I don't think that, for a half-hour training or whatever every day, I don't think that he'd be like a master like he is now on the show. But you know, hey, whatever. So it's TV. So okay. At the first part when he was walking around it. When he would kill all those walkers, and after a while he would put down Claire and stuff, and then he would move on to the next area. I kind of wonder exactly what were his criteria for being Claire. You know, was it if he didn't run into a walker, I don't know, like 3 hours or whatever, from the last one, or what it was, if he just decided, you know, hey, you know, the voices in my head are telling me that it's clear, so let's move on to the next area. I also kind of wonder, basically how far he had to go each time. Again, I don't know if it was like a certain amount of miles or whatever, or the voices in his head just said, you know, hey, stop, you know, that kind of thing. So, so I do kind of wonder, what his method was for actually deciding what was clear and what wasn't. So. And I have to say, I really thought that the walker that actually went through the fire, that was pretty cool, I gotta say. I know they really didn't do too well with the CG for it, I think, because, you know, after Morgan kind of stepped up to actually take out the walker, that's when the flames on the walker just seem to disappear. And if it was a little more realistic, I think they should have actually stayed on for a little while longer. I know they couldn't actually do it with the actual actor or whatever, but it would have been a really easy thing to do with CG. And I just think that for those few seconds, they did kind of drop the ball on that. And I do got to say that I got to give a big thumbs up to the writers for the show. I don't know if it was a character like this, like in the actual comic or whatever, or if it was just based on their imagination or whatever, but I really like the fact that Eastman looked the way that he did. Because it'd be so easy to think of like I don't know, some guy like in his late 20s or whatever that was kind of living out on his own in the woods, really ripped and muscular and all this kind of stuff, and they went with like somebody who was like in his 40s or 50s and was bald, and I wouldn't say that he was a fat dude, but he was definitely of the larger size. So good call on their part for actually having him know Akito than somebody else. I was a little confused at first about why he had that makeshift jail cell. I guess you could say the outhouse type area for that log cabin. I was kind of like, exactly when did he make this thing, and for what purpose or whatever. At first, I kind of thought that it was just one of those things that he decided to do because he was kind of bored and he needed something to kind of keep himself occupied with, because there was like no TV or anything when he was out there like on his own or whatever. So I think it was just mainly busy work, but no, it didn't turn out to be that way. So and the thing with keeping Tabitha outside, at first I thought it was mainly because he wanted her to get like fresh hair and stuff, but yeah, I'm kind of exposing her to a whole bunch of danger with walkers trying to come up and eat her and stuff. If he was just concerned with like her well-being or whatever, he would have definitely chosen a better place to do it. I don't know, like maybe building a secluded open area for her, like kind of inside the house or in the outhouse or something like that. But what I kind of think that he was doing with her was that even though he didn't want anything to die, I think in a way that he was kind of using her as bait, trying to draw walkers to actually come towards his place. So he could basically destroy the walkers and then bury them in make like little graves and stuff from. That's one of the things that I think he was doing, because yeah, even though Morgan said that he was a cheesemaker, yeah, apparently he wasn't too handy in the kitchen, at least from the one expression I can remember of him making when he tried to put some goat milk in something, then it was really bad. And for his quote chocolate addiction, Yeah, I don't know if there'd be any really good chocolate left at that point. I'm sure if you had like powdered chocolate or whatever, that would probably last a lot longer than like the chocolate and candy bars or whatever. But yeah, I still don't know if I would eat it then. Okay, I think I might end the episode on this. I did notice three things with the Walker bite. Okay, first of all, I think that the guy that turned into the Walker, that Kim Morgan, that might have been the guy from earlier in the episode, the one that he was kind of having flashbacks to. It might have been just somebody similarly dressed or whatever. But I'm also kind of thinking that maybe it was like the thing with Rick when he had that flashback to when he kind of saw that guy that reminded him of Shane in Woodbury. Granted, that guy did have beard and stuff, but yeah, I think that was the main thing that he was thinking when that Walker showed up, was that hey, this was somebody that I kind of killed, kind of left to die. So who knows? Maybe when he was out, he was actually bitten by a Walker and stuff when he was just lying there. Because I do not think that you can kill a person just by strangling them once. I think you have to do it like a whole bunch of times. Because I think what happens is when you strangle a person one time, they kind of pass out from the blood loss, or I should say, not the blood loss, but not getting enough blood to the brain and whatever that causes them to pass out and stuff. So I don't think that you can kill a person that way. So I don't know. Maybe he crushed his windpipe when he was doing it. So, but the other thing that kind of got to me was that Eastman decided to get in the way of Morgan and the Walker in between him when the bite happened. And I really don't think that he should have done that. He should have known better. Granted, I know that he didn't really want Morgan to get bitten and die and stuff, but I think, he had a pole. He could always just go up beside Morgan and hit the zombie in the forehead, like, instead. So really, I don't think that he needed to die or anything like that. So, and the third thing that I noticed with that is that Eastman stayed alive a long time. I have no idea why. He didn't look like he was super healthy, or I don't know, maybe he has like a kind of immunity to it or whatever, but well, maybe not like total immunity or anything, but resistance, I should say. So yeah, he lasted a long time. Instead of just being like lying there and being ready to die and stuff, he actually was able to go back to his place and do some stuff there. Although, granted, he didn't save Tabitha, which really sucks. Because I think it would have been really cool if, when we saw Morgan the first time when he was walking towards Terminus, if he had Tabitha like just leading him kind of like a dog, because I'm sure that a lot of people on the internet would have been like, what the heck is going on? So, but hey, whatever. So yeah, that's gonna be about it for this episode. So I'm going to sign out for now. This is Episode 15. You've been watching Let's Discuss The Walking Dead. This has been for Season 6, Episode 4. And I will see you hopefully next week for Episode 5. So until then, take care.